Well, rest assured, this is not a dress rehearsal, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me in rising to receive His Excellency's delegation. Ke a leboga. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in rising for our national anthem. Ke a leboga. Ke a leboga batsadi le ka nna mo ditilong. It is my sweetest privilege this morning to acknowledge the presence of His Excellency Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Kyabetswe Masisi, the Vice President of the African Development Bank Group, Mr. Solomon Kaino, Minister of Investment, Trade and Industry, Honorable Peggy Serame, Minister of Infrastructure and Housing Development, Honorable Musi Khafela, Minister of Youth Empowerment, Sports and Culture Development, Honorable Dumiso Rakare. Assistant Minister of Agriculture, Development and Food Security, Honorable Beauty Manake. Assistant Minister of Investment, Trade and Industry, Honorable Molebatsi. His Worship, the Mayor of Gaborone City, Honorable Father Mapongo. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, Me Kehanele Malikongwa. All permanent secretaries here present. BITC Board Chairperson, Mr. Terence Dambe, and your board, sir. BITC CEO, Mr. Kilitsu Siitse Olibile, and other CEOs here present. The Chairperson of the Presidential Task Team on National Transformation, Remwa Trudi Sebabole. District Commissioner of Kwening, Me Berman Musime. Captains of Industry, international guests joining us virtually. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. The Wi-Fi access is 2020 virtual GEB delegates, no password, no registration. The hashtags are GEB 2020 and GEB goes virtual, because this is the 2020 Virtual Global Expo Botswana's official opening ceremony and day one of the Investment and Trade Conference. Now, typically, this week is annually marked by the arrival of international business travelers ascending upon our land to participate in one of the world's biggest business-to-business and multi-sectoral expos. Hotels themselves would be near to fully booked, and leisure or tourism locations would be buzzing. Well, this year, traffic is a little bit different. Technological and medical disruptions have created grounds for things such as the semi-virtual conference sessions, virtual exhibition booths, virtual business lobbies, and virtual auditoriums for all presentations. Kore motho, quite virtually, we are in the digital era right here, right now. My name is Giselle. It's my pleasure to be connecting with you on this day. As your GEB 2020 MC, I thank you for joining us here in person this morning at Tlotlo Hotel and Conference Center. The same to you, watching live and joining us virtually through Facebook, as well as to you indeed, tuned in via radio, thanks to Gabs FM. All of this being possible thanks to the support and sponsorship of Morupule Coal Mine, A&B, Gabs FM, and of course, the Botswana Investment and Trade Center. Well, the theme for this year reads, using disruptive technology to shape the new normal in the era of COVID-19 and beyond. What is your emerging role post-COVID-19 impact? What new ways will you activate? How will you realize your innovative ideas? Who do you need to get there? And how do you overcome yesterday's challenges today to best position yourself for tomorrow? Well, conversations to answer these and more shall be unpacked throughout the day until the 20th of November 2020. Well, as we smoothly ascend to the altitude of welcome remarks, a friendly but firm reminder from your pilot on this flight GEB 2020 or GEB 2020 to stay mindful of the COVID-19 precautions and protocols. Please do sanitize your hands often, maintain social distance, and wear your face mask. When Beyoncé drops a new album or takes an elevator, the internet breaks. In Botswana this year, only one woman carries that level of power, as it notably surged between March through June, July into September. You might recall tweets such as, or tweets such as, "Protect Peggy Serame at all costs." And of course, the hugely popular, "A very beautiful morning to the beautiful Peggy Serame." In fact, June 3rd and later September 4th were this year declared as National Peggy Serame Day. Now, I doubt that this mighty woman is going to be releasing a music album anytime soon, because we are keeping her very, very busy as our Minister of Investment, Trade and Industry. She now takes the podium to deliver the official welcome remarks. Baretso, join me in welcoming her. This is Honorable Peggy Serame.
Thank you very much, Giselle, for that introduction and welcome. It is indeed a beautiful morning. Director of Ceremonies, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Botswana, Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Keabetso Masisi, the Vice President of the African Development Bank Group, who is joining us virtually, Mr. Solomon Quino, Minister of Infrastructure and Housing Development and Member of Parliament for Muchudi West, Honorable Musi Khafela, the Minister of Youth Empowerment, Sport and Culture Development and Member of Parliament for Mogoditsane Constituency, Honorable Tumiso Rakhare, Assistant Minister of Agricultural Development and Food Security, Honorable Beauty Manake, Your Worship, the Mayor of the City of Gaborone, Father Mapongo, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, Ms. Kekhanele Malikongwa, and senior government officials present here, Chairman of the Board of Directors of Botswana Investment and Trade Center, Mr. Terence Dambe, and the entire Board of BITC with us today and watching virtually, the CEO of BITC, Mr. Kilutsisiso Olibile, and your team, all CEOs here present, business leaders and captains of industry from Botswana and abroad, the District Commissioner for Kwenin District, Ms. Bernice Berman Musime, distinguished conference speakers, moderators, workshop facilitators, media houses present, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a very good morning to you all. It is my honor to welcome you to today's 15th Global Expo Botswana. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have converged here today under a totally different environment due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This pandemic has changed the way we conduct business across the world. Hence today, we are having Global Expo Botswana 2020 virtually, and we are holding it virtually for the very first time in Botswana. Director of Ceremonies, allow me to express my sincere gratitude to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Botswana, Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Keabetso Masisi, who has just left another meeting to come and officiate at this event, for gracing this occasion. Your Excellency, we appreciate your leadership, your personal commitment in our investment promotion drive, as well as our transformation agenda as the nation of Botswana. I also wish to take a moment to appreciate all our special guests at this 15th Global Expo, those who are here physically and virtually. As has already been said, the theme for this year's Expo is using disruptive technology to shape the new normal in the era of COVID-19 and beyond. This theme is in line with our aspirations to transform Botswana to a knowledge-based, diversified, and high-income economy. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, in the advent of COVID-19, adoption and the use of digital technologies to do business has become apparent, and it is indeed a way of life. I have been informed by the organizers of this event that we are going to see the application of 4IR tools this week, as the event will largely involve the usage of virtual reality, which allows for the use of computer technology to create a simulated environment and augmented reality, which adds digital elements to a live view by using the camera on a smartphone. To align to these new developments, government is developing the e-commerce strategy, which is meant to facilitate electronic commerce, which has become more indispensable now in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, where movement of persons, goods, and raw materials has been limited by the different protocols put in place to avert the spread of the disease. The virtual GEB 2020 will feature virtual booths of over 100 exhibitors from both Botswana and beyond. It is expected to attract about 1,000 virtual attendees from across the globe, running for 4 days from today, the 17th, up to the 20th of November 2020. This will entail intensive virtual exhibition and business-to-business meetings, followed by a further 15 days of follow-ups and more business-to-business engagements between exhibitors and attendees. I must highlight that the platform will remain live for the next 12 months to enable participants to continue exploring business opportunities beyond the initial 19 days of business networking. Other exhibitors will be onboarded into the platform after the initial 4 days of intensive virtual exhibition. In this regard, I urge all our local companies to fully utilize this platform in order to improve their business prospects. Just give me a moment. And as I proceed, I just want to highlight a few points relating to global trade and investment. There's a projected decline in global trade, and this calls for a change in the economic structure of our economies to ensure that we build sustainable industries to produce for the domestic and international markets. The Eurostat analysis of 2019 has revealed that over 65% of goods exported out of Africa to Europe were raw materials, whilst imported goods into Africa, which is about 70%, are processed products, that is industrial and manufactured products. This provides business opportunities for investment into value addition of raw materials that we are exporting as the African continent and as Botswana. And Botswana, being land-linked to the rest of the continent, should be the preferred destination for such investments. There are business opportunities in a number of sectors, including in energy, agriculture, infrastructure development, ICT included, of course, and beneficiation of natural resources. Let Botswana be the springboard to the rest of the continent with a market of 1.2 billion people, while the Southern African region market has about 277 million people. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, despite these challenges that come about because of COVID-19, there are emerging opportunities, as I've already indicated, for online businesses, designing and promoting digital technology, healthcare, biodiversity, as well as renewable energy and agribusiness. I wish to assure you that Botswana is ready to roll out the red carpet as we warmly invite you to set up and operate from Botswana. I also wish to emphasize that we are committed to continuously creating and improving the doing business environment. To date, we have made significant progress in implementation of our reforms agenda. We have also prioritized digitization to improve efficiency within this agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, Botswana has incentives that set it apart from its peers as a credible and profitable investment destination. These include financial incentives and transparent tax procedures to encourage private investment, a fully liberalized economy with no restrictions on business ownership, allowing for full repatriation of profits and capital gains by investors, duty-free import of machinery and equipment for the manufacturing purposes, and a sound policy, monetary policy with low inflation rate and an educated workforce. We are ready to engage on some of these opportunities and what we offer as incentives in the coming days. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with these few remarks, it is my pleasure to officially welcome you to the first virtual Global Expo Botswana. I also wish you successful business-to-business engagements and other business networking endeavors. I thank you for your kind attention. COVID protocols.
Thank you very much, Honorable Peggy Serame. Very insightful notes indeed, and I certainly hope you took note as I did. Well, it's time for some entertainment. Ntirelang Masobana Berman, Rewa Mobinanare, is described by TEDx as Botswana's leading folk musician. His choreography of theater productions have had him in the headlines. And Sunday Standard once called him a prolific instrumentalist. Well, today he takes the stage with his beloved guitar that he calls Ngwana Keoki Kanyankaene to set the soundtrack of this ceremony and indeed to mark our cultural sound as present in the digital era. Bagaetso, this is Ntirelang Berman. Enjoy.
Dumelang. Pina e ntletse ke le kontsweng la baratani. Irile ha entlela ka utlwa ke ralwa ke pheswana e tsiditsana. Me ga tswa lefoko le re tlhakanya molete ka be ke dumela go tlhakanya. Ya no mpina e ke be ke tlhakanyetsa gore e kgone gore e tsenye borraetsho mokgweetsi a masisi a mo kopantse le Maetsho Serame le wa gaetsho rre tla re bulela ke re banana ba kgone go kopana le bagolo ka pinae re rapelle pula re tle re kgone re bone temo e duleng diatla ka gore tlala ya re bolaya serame sa re kokonela lenyora le re gakaletse pina e bidiwa gote pula.
Selo, repeta mafatshe, ulaganya mafelo, sela hodi mutu mukuluko beta pelo, ramase di rumbela di pula sa selemo, matale bata bata di bata baka di muto, omutaka gore na mami ya nywa murokoto, sarwa kidi bodu, iriswa kidi bofu, mapelele taba mutaka mala wale bodu, kirela mbeme, bina murankana, tomaka togo mubinele bino wasitwana, sarona keso nembelelo ya makala abikisa menwana miloni ya dikatara matale tale kana na kiroka pula kilemela batusi mwenye na salenta pula kinale gurata kata kala ituka mani ya nyohela mayo afula wana maroto di masara sarane torana ngadi ata dire pula
Thank you so much, Ntirelang Berman. You are a living legend, sir, and may God continue to empower you. May your ancestors be with you as you continue to celebrate and conserve our cultural heritage in song and performance. A round of applause once again if you enjoyed that artistry. Well, as global news of vaccines continues to give us enhanced hope of better days, I do believe there shall come a day when the world will rise together in applause for surviving a truly trying year. I think the last time I checked out the statistics in our country, it was noted that we had lost 30 lives due to COVID-19. At this moment, ladies and gentlemen, I do implore you to kindly join me in 2 minutes of a moment of silence in acknowledgement and memory of those that we have lost in this trying year. Ke a le leboga. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me in rising in honor and memory of those that we have lost to a truly dramatic year, both within and of our borders. To say that the presidency of our next speaker is one for the history books is a humble understatement. To say perhaps that a biography by him would fly off the shelves and inspire major film productions is a critical undercut. To say from an onlooker's perspective that November alone has been an incredibly action-packed month amidst a one-of-a-kind year for him may be an underestimation. Snapshot look at his schedule. 16th of November, announcement of dispatch of an investigative and community engagement-focused high-level ministerial delegation to the Chobe district. 14th November, a teleconference and commitment to a joint investigation with His Excellency President Genkob. 6th November, approves the lifting of international travel restrictions. 9th November, opening of Parliament. 15th November, posts beautiful gratitude message to our First Lady, his dear wife, and leading gender-based violence eradication champion. 8th November, congratulates American President-elect Joe Biden for his victory. By the way, his birthday's on the 20th in advance. 12th November, he meets the 998-carat high white diamond Situnya, still back to the 9th of November, delivers the State of the Nation address, to which Professor Sheila Doe wrote, and I quote, "Very articulate, concise, and truly promising. In fact, I, Sheila, am coming back home to participate in achieving Vision 2036 and the SDGs." Today is the 17th of November. Ladies and gentlemen, the guest of honor at this 2020 virtual Global Expo Botswana is the leader of our nation, His Excellency, Dr. Mokwetsi Eric Gabezi. Masisi.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. The Director of Ceremonies, thank you for your very kind vocabulary. Honorable Minister Peggy Nkutule Serame, Minister of Investment, Trade and Industry, otherwise known as DPEGZO. Honorable Ministers here present, Mr. Solomon Quino, the Vice President of the African Development Bank Group, Honorable Assistant Ministers here present, Your Worship the Mayor of the City of Gaborone, Father Mapongo, the Chairman of the Board of Directors of Botswana Investment and Trade Center, Mr. Terence Dambe, and your entire board, Mr. Akilusitse Ulibile, the Chief Executive Officer of BITC, and other senior officers in the organization, senior government officials, captains of industry, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our entertainers, particularly Mr. Bergman. A very good morning to all of you. Good morning. It is indeed an honor for me to address you this morning on this momentous occasion, marking the official opening of the Global Expo Botswana 2020. I am delighted to have virtually joined all participants at this event. The theme for this year's Global Expo, as has been noted, is using disruptive tech to shape the new normal in the era of COVID-19 and beyond. Could not have been more relevant as the world has now focused attention on innovative solutions to address the global outbreak of COVID-19. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it has now become normal for us to conduct meetings and events of this nature virtually in our efforts to minimize the spread of the virus. Until an effective and reliable vaccine is found, we will continue to follow the laid down health protocols and regulations to protect ourselves and our nations from this deadly virus. The COVID-19 pandemic has negatively impacted our health systems and the global economy as a whole. The IMF's World Economic Outlook has estimated a deep recession in 2020 as the global economy is projected to decline by 4.4%, while growth is forecast to rebound by 5.2% in 2021. In Botswana, output in key production and export sectors, especially mining and tourism, have been constrained, and estimates show contraction in domestic output for 2020 at 8.9% compared to pre-COVID growth projections of 4.4%. To reboot the economy and to cushion it from the unprecedented shock brought about by COVID-19, government has adopted the Economic Recovery and Transformation Plan, otherwise for short ERTP. I wish to indicate that my government has prioritized the use of technology and digitalization in our efforts to create a digitally inclusive nation by ensuring that all our people have access to reliable technology. This will ensure the delivery of a knowledge-based economy, as envisaged in our National Vision 2036 and the National Transformation Agenda. In this context, Botswana has adopted a Smart Botswana or Smart Bots strategy, which is expected to digitize the service sector to improve service delivery across the country. Government continues to implement robust programs and projects to provide the requisite infrastructure that will enhance our digitalization strategy. To this end, the Botswana Fiber Network, or BOFINET, which has a national fiber coverage in excess of 10,600 kilometers countrywide, is in the process of connecting cities, major towns, and villages to help reduce the digital divide in the country. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, since the advent of COVID-19, we have experienced a rapid increase in the use of technology throughout Botswana. The COVID-19 health protocols being implemented by government resulted in, among others, school closures that necessitated online instructions by teachers to learners, people working from their homes, and entrepreneurs and researchers harnessing innovative solutions to contribute to the containment and transmission of the pandemic in our country. In this regard, government has undertaken some key e-service initiatives such as e-learning to digitize our schools and enhance information communication technology, accessibility, e-health to improve access to healthcare, and e-commerce that aims to promote the use of digital payment platforms. Botswana, as is the case in the rest of the world, has identified disruptive digital technologies as key enablers for economic recovery and transformation. We must prioritize skills development and capacity building, digital infrastructure development, digital access, and international collaboration in the economic recovery trajectory, thereby enabling a global economic reset beyond COVID-2019. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to note that this year's Global Exposition Botswana has attracted about 120 companies, both local and international, and I'm delighted that the virtual Expo, which begins today, will deliver a premier online business-to-business exhibition using virtual reality technology, which was developed by a team of young, talented, handsome and beautiful Botswana. This is a clear demonstration that our young people are key in finding creative solutions that will contribute to the diversification of our economy and in no small measure, job creation through the use of technology. I therefore urge the private sector, civil society, and our development partners to continue supporting our youth to showcase their talents and tap into their innovative potential. Government will continue to partner with strategic stakeholders such as the World Economic Forum, WEF, and global high-tech companies to fast-track digitalization and lend support to our young people. These initiatives will also go a long way in contributing to our efforts towards the ease of doing business in Botswana. As I conclude, I look forward to a positive outcome of this virtual Global Expo, which presents an opportunity to our entrepreneurs, especially the youth, to interact and network with the business community and potential investors. It also provides opportunity for them to share ideas and knowledge, as well as learn from best business practices that will help them improve their enterprises. With these few words, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I now have the distinct honor to officially open the virtual Global Expo Botswana 2020. I thank you, and as we say in Botswana, let there be rain. Apula yin.
The President of our nation, Your Excellency Dr. Mokhwezi Eric Yabetu Masisi, we continue to be encouraged by your leadership, sir, and are most grateful for your impactful keynote address as our guest of honor. I think it's a moment for another musical moment, if you will, and this time I'd like to introduce you to a gentleman named Soli Sibotso. Soli is a gentleman from Letlhakeng, and he tells me gore nna tota ke ithatela mmino wa Setswana nnaka. Thata ke itebaganya le one katara. He says that one of his most popular songs is named Bidi Bidi. And this is because he has been a farmer of Bidi Bidi. He's traveled China, Sweden, America, on Broadway, as well as Pretoria, and numerous appearances across the country. a re o lebega e ka re o tla emisa go lema dipidipidi mme a itebaganye le go lema one mmino. But don't take my word for it. The gentleman is here to take the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Soli Sebotso.
Two, Bella Masadi. Zuma
Sorry. Ha nna ke ratile go lebala go tla go palama podium, ke ntse ke bina pidi-pidi ka kwa. Thank you so much for an incredible performance, Soli Sibotso. And what an exciting thing to note that this was not just enjoyed by those of us who are here in person at Tlotlo Hotel and Conference Center, but also via Facebook, as well as indeed Gabs FM. Soli, my friend, see me after the show because I need the full lyrics of that song. I know that she said it's purely about dipidi-pidi, but I'm convinced I'm gonna find some underlying messages somewhere in there. Well, at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our vote of thanks, courtesy of the BITC board chairman, who kicked off this very busy month with a birthday on the 1st of November. I think it's safe to say 16 days later, happy birthday, Re Dambe. And indeed, happy birthday, Motsadi wa me. And indeed, may all young corporate guys that pay attention wish to be half as cool and brilliant as you. Ladies and gentlemen, Terence Dambe, chairman of BITC.
Thank you very much. I hope that was recorded so that I can tell my wife how cool and brilliant I am allegedly supposed to be. Thank you very much for those kind words and for the birthday wishes. Much appreciated. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Botswana, Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Kiabetso Masisi, Honorable Minister of Investment, Trade and Industry, Honorable Peggy O. Serame, Cabinet Ministers and Honorable Members of Parliament here present, our most valued invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say all protocol observed. Welcome and good morning. It is indeed an honor to have been given the task of giving a vote of thanks on this occasion on the official opening of the 15th Global Expo Botswana. As can be expected, this is no ordinary Expo event by any measure. The unusual manner in which the Expo is taking place is a reflection of the unusual times we find ourselves in as a result of the COVID pandemic. Whilst I say unusual, whether one looks at it in a positive or a negative way is a matter of one's perspective. We choose to look at it in a positive way. COVID has forced us all to rethink how we conduct business and be innovative. As is often said, to think outside of the box, so to speak. Testimony to this fact is that we have just witnessed the official opening of what will be a very innovative concept of a virtual expo under a very befitting theme of using disruptive tech to shape the new normal in the era of COVID-19 and beyond. Master of Ceremonies, I am advised that this is the first of its kind ever witnessed in this country. It brings to mind the observation made by President John F. Kennedy when he said, and I quote, "The Chinese use 2 brushstrokes to write the word crisis. One brushstroke stands for danger, the other for opportunity. In crisis, be aware of the danger, but also recognize the opportunity." Allow me, Your Excellency, to say that we will use the learnings from this year's Global Expo to define the future trajectory of the upcoming events to be hosted by the BITC. In this regard, I wish to congratulate the BITC management and staff for putting together such an ambitious project in partnership with a young team of Botswana. I am over the moon that young Botswana are at the center of innovation that has created this digital platform. In my view, It is my view that many in government, and indeed the private sector, are yet to fully appreciate and embrace the depth of innovative talent in this country. We really need to introspect to address this challenge. This year's Global Expo bears testimony to the benefits of harnessing local innovation. Indeed, there can never be a better partnership like one that we are just about to experience. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests, on behalf of the BITC Board of Directors, management, the entire staff of the center, and indeed on my own behalf, I wish to extend our warm and hearty gratitude to our guest of honor, His Excellency the President, for gracing this very important event in the calendar of BITC. Allow me to also extend our full appreciation and gratitude to our Minister, Honorable Peggy O. Serame, for her unwavering support and guidance to the Global Expo Botswana project, as well as the BITC in general. In our pursuit of fulfilling our mandate and attracting export-led investment into Botswana and consequently promoting the export of our locally produced goods and services in regional and international markets. I also wish to express our sincere gratitude to the distinguished speakers, webinar and panel discussion facilitators, panelists, moderators, who graciously accepted our invitation to be part of this historic project. Master of Ceremonies, allow me to thank in anticipation the Vice President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Solomon Kino, I hope I pronounced it right, Kino, the honorable ministers present, as well as Dr. Martin Davies, Managing Director of the Emerging Markets in Africa at Deloitte, who will be conversing on how to build a resilient and self-sufficient economy post-COVID. I'd also like to thank our partners such as the Angel Network Botswana and ANB, who have had a desire to see our startup ecosystem being streamlined and improved to be at par with its peers in Silicon Valley, Israel, and Korea. They have been very instrumental in putting together the first ever virtual GEB investment battlefield. Other important partners include Murupula Coal Mine, who have graciously sponsored the GEB 2020 investment battlefield, as well as Gabs FM, who are our official broadcast partner. We hope that these partnerships will grow in leaps and bounds in the coming years. To them, I say, le kamoso ba gaetsho. We really value and appreciate you as partners in driving our mandate. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to encourage the local business community, particularly SMMEs, to take advantage of the exhibitors at this year's GEB to cultivate more business relationships in order to move our economy forward. The private sector is a very important player in the economy, and in this regard, I would wish to emphasize that without the private sector, government would not be able to achieve its objectives on economic diversification and growth. Please take note of the fact that the GEB virtual platform will remain open and available for at least the next 12 months. So please do continue to log in and observe and enjoy what is a unique platform that has been created by Botswana. Your Excellency, honorable ministers, all dignitaries here present, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to divert from my speech for 1 second just to congratulate the Zebras, who I believe beat Chipolo Polo, a team that has given us a lot of stress in the past. And also I think it's worth mentioning our ladies team as well, who made it to the finals of the COSAFA Cup. I was saying to the minister, when I was involved at BFA, you'd almost dread when you'd hear the ladies team is traveling, because the results were, you could sometimes count them beyond two hands. It's such a major transformation for the ladies to now be competing at that level. Once again, I wish to thank you for having taken off time off your busy schedules to be with us, both physically, virtually, to witness the official opening of the first ever virtual Global Expo Botswana. We look forward to hosting you in other forthcoming events of the Global Expo 2020. I thank you for your attention. Ke lebohile. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman Terence Dambe. It was quite a pleasure to get some clarity or a reminder, refresher course on all the available platforms from which we can continue to enjoy the highlights and particular experiences you want to zoom into of this 2020 Global Expo Botswana. Now, very shortly, we're about to witness the very first virtual tour of the exhibition booths. But just before we settle into that, I do encourage you to start connecting with your gift bag. It is proudly Pusha BW. Don't forget, of course, to keep your phone on silent. But if you are moved to, do enjoy opportunity to say hashtag GEB 2020, hashtag GEB goes virtual. Bidi bidi. Ha, na, na. Ke re soli sebotso a re musetse gape pele ga re wetsa thulaganyo ya motsatsi la gompieno. Thanks for staying with us wherever you're from. Thank you.
Hey, bandile matobona, badi bobule mkuda, badile matobona, badi bobule mkuda, batswana badira diro maso chiri bolema, batswana badira diro maso chiri bolema. Dano gobo toko toko jangu, karagota sake molai, gobo toko toko jangu, karagota ke maloi, maloi opeloi tata, agudira sasibulu, maloi babilu di tata, agudira sasibulu, abisa mula pulula, agubisa tsaga boroni, karagota nyele take, agubisa tsaga boroni, karagota nye kwasisu, kwana mola boroni. Abisa magalaka, abisa tsaga borone, aragopetsa kanditu, aragomata kanilamu, bagala uatsuga, ibirena imutuku, bagala uatsuga, ibirena imutuku, arbakella dipata, arbakata samolai, arbakella ditupa, dipata samolai, olai wago sakasala, olai upeloi tata. Wago sakasala, ulo yupiro yetana, ulo yuja ananile, ulo yuja ananile, hakitsegure balala baridi. Batswana ba dira dilo masong tšhiri bolelo Batswana ba dira dilo masong tšhiri bolelo Balala ba dira dilo masong tšhiri bolelo Batswana ba dira dilo masong tšhiri bolelo Balala ba dira dilo masong tšhiri bolelo Batswana ba dira dilo masong tšhiri bolelo Balala ba dira dilo masong tšhiri bolelo
Ke mmino wa ga Rre Soli Sebotso go thata gore ha Rre a tshameka katare ya gagwe o re o ska wa bina motho etso jaanong wena o leng ka ko lapeng o re lebileng ka tsamaranyane ke a go itumela ka gonne rona ka kwano re santse re le ka go itshwara gongwe re tla re kopana le ene morago ga thulaganyo re tle re bine dipina tsa gagwe tse dintle thata. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, as you are witnessing, there are some gentlemen who are delicately preparing the screen that will be central to the tour of the virtual exhibition as to be experienced by our first citizen himself, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Botswana, Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Masisi. He will be joined on stage by our Minister of Investment, Trade and Industry, as well as the Chief Executive Officer of BITC. Well, at this moment, there's a gentleman named Siane, Thabo Siane. If you could raise your hand there, my gentleman, just to confirm your presence at the moment. Abuti Thabo, a ko re ane letsogo go kgaitsedi ya ka. Ke bona gore a motho o ko wena o. Siane, if you could be so kind as to raise your hand so I can confirm that indeed that is you. Thank you so much. Siane is the main person who's going to take our high-level delegation through this very first tour of the virtual exhibition. At this very moment, I would like to invite the presence of Honorable Serame as well as Reolibile to usher His Excellency as he experiences for the very first time the virtual tour of the virtual exhibition. This is 2020 Global Expo Botswana, the virtual edition. We're making history. Stay with us. The hashtags, I'm sure you're aware of them.
So you stand here. I'll be manning the machine. All right.
I'll take a mic. I'll take a mic.
I do believe that Tabo Siane is about to take the microphone and explain to us the amazingness that we see on the big screen at this very moment. Over to you, Siane.
Testing. All protocol observed. Thank you for joining us on this virtual Global Expo tutorial. As you can see on the screen here, we have what we call the business lounge, where all attendees will be able to come here and communicate with the Global Expo team on the information desk in the middle here. So we have these country pavilions at the bottom, where we allow attendees to visit specific stores. So I think we'll take it to Botswana, and let's go see our local companies. So we simply click the flag, and on the left, on the right here, we have a series of sectors that our companies are representing. So I'll take us to Manufacturing Hall 1, and we are teleported to the first exhibition hall. Below that, we have a list of local companies that were very gracious to give us content in order to show into their exhibition hall. You can click on one of the logos, and you are quickly transported to the booth. You can click on another one, and you are quickly transported to the next booth. So traveling is very, very simple and easy. But for the young people who want to know 3D and navigate and really enjoy the space, they can double-click and move around the experience, as if they're in a real exhibition hall for the exhibitors. Now we have these interesting blue diamond buttons. We kept in the theme of one of Botswana's very precious minerals, which is the diamond. And these are the interactive points that you communicate with the exhibitors. So I'll demonstrate with one of them, where I click the chat icon. And then a conversation chatbot is availed. So I'll type my name, so they know who I am. So I'll just say Thabo, and start the chat. So there we have Khomotso representing Shidol. She's on the other side and ready to communicate. She has told me, hello, how may I help you? So just a quick message for me to find out a bit about her products. And there you can see Khomotso is responding on the other side. And she's responded with a hi. So now we are connected in the virtual expo, and she will let me know a bit about her store. Khomotso has a lot to say. The little dots just indicate that she's typing. I'm sure the Facebook users will be used to this. Maybe if I just say, wait for her to communicate. I think whilst Khomotso is still typing, maybe let's have a look at the other features at the booth. So I'll just, in the meantime, close the chat. Immediately after you close the chat, you'll get prompted to leave a mini survey so that we just know how the experience is for Botswana, see if they're getting used to this new normal. So I'll click yes. I think it was quite a good initial conversation. I can leave a comment and submit. I will then close Khomotso's chat and just have a look at her other products. Let's have a look at some videos. And there we have her video showing a bit of her products. And I think I like this video. I will add it to my virtual briefcase. I'll proceed now to look at her business card. I think I want to contact Khomotso at another stage. And there's her business card, and I will add it to my virtual briefcase. Let's have a look at the briefcase. And there we have it, her video and her business card. And I will download this to my machine. And it's in the corner there for me to keep and contact her at a later stage. We can close. Maybe let's have another look at another stall and look at a bit of their bio. So this is Arona. They've got a little bit of information about who they are, so we can really find out about our local companies, and we hope globally people get to know a lot using this platform. I'll not take too much more of your time, and I think I'll leave it there, sir.
Thank you very much, Siane, Thabo Siane. I'm so proud of you, joined by such power on the stage, and you kept your ground, sir. Well done to you. And indeed, well done to yourself and the rest of the team at 52 Sundays for making this virtual experience possible. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you heard, you have some virtual suitcases, briefcases, as well as exhibition booths galore. So all you need to do is go on to globalexpo.co.bw and take a moment to experience the vast multitudes of businesses, products, and services available to you by our businessmen and women in Botswana, as well as beyond, who wish to do business with yourself, for there are no borders within the virtual world. Well, at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, it's that auspicious moment where we now express tokens of appreciation by gifting our two key speakers this morning. I would like to now, at this moment, invite back to the stage area our CEO, Re Olibile, to present tokens of appreciation for our Honorable Minister Serame, as well as His Excellency, Dr. Masisi. Honorable Serame, my lady, if yourself and the good doctor, His Excellency, Mokgweetsi Eric Yabetu Masisi, may make their way to the stage to receive tokens of appreciation from Re Olibile. This would be, of course, one of those moments where one would say, smile for the camera flash. At this moment, I suppose it will be the eyes that are smiling in this instance as we continue to be mindful of COVID-19 protocols. Hey, by the way, as we witness this auspicious moment on stage, a round of applause indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Do keep in mind as we witness the gifting of our key speakers that you yourself also have a basket that you get to take home with you with some goodies that are lovingly prepared in Botswana, sanitizer included.
Called Afromuse. They are based at Molapo Crossing, the yellow container opposite the pharmacy at Molapo. So we urge all of you to visit and lend your support. Thank you. Your Excellency, yours are made by Onias Industries. They are located at the Lea Incubator in Pilani. I think again, the gifts for His Excellency the President, made by our very own Onias Industries. They are located at the Lea Incubator in Pilani, also calling you to lend your support. And while we're still at it, I also want to announce that we have an exhibition of local products outside. All the distinguished guests in the hall, take your time to go and see what we are capable of making here locally. so that you can support. Thank you. I see it's quite overwrapped, but it's a watch box for His Excellency to be keeping his watches quite safely. Thank you. And lastly, it's just a gift hamper comprising of various locally produced products for His Excellency to sample and enjoy. Yes, we push a BW. Thank you.
Well, Chairman Dambe, seeing as it was your birthday just under 16 days ago, we think that it would be appropriate as well for you to receive a token of appreciation for the leadership that you've expressed with us at the team of Global Expo Botswana. So please, sir, make your way to the stage as Reo Libile returns to present a token of appreciation to the chairman. Thank you very much to the Chief Executive Officer of Botswana Investment and Trade Center, Re Keletsositse Olubile, for presenting our key delegation with tokens of appreciation for their contribution. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this very moment, it's my pleasure to inform you that this brings a close to the official opening ceremony. Very shortly, we will be witnessing the departure of His Excellency and his delegation, and I will be inviting you to please do take invitation of Re Olibile very seriously and take a moment to browse through some of the local products that we are exhibiting just at the exit of this here conference facility. Do be advised and reminded that our very first session for this year will be kicking off at promptly 11 o'clock, so that gives you quite a bit of time to get a refreshment, update your sanitization, perhaps even replace your mask with another one if you so wish, and do maintain your social distancing throughout all the networking. Otherwise, until then, as we witness the departure of His Excellency's delegation, Mr. DJ, back to you with your beautiful selection. Ke a leboga, Kgaitsadiaka.